Frank Skinner.
Radio.
Hello and welcome to Not the Weekend podcast. I'm Frank Skinner and I'm here with my friends Emily and Gareth.
Hello, Frank.
In association with Absolute Radio. And as usual, we're sitting in a small studio we're subterranean.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are beneath the Absolute studios.
In the bowels. That's what they say in radio.
Oh, they do, yeah.
As low as you can go.
They don't say that.
The thing is, we're not in the bowels, because the bowels are about midway in the human body. That's about the second floor.
Yeah, that explains the stench.
Yeah, it does, but there is a strange stench on the second floor. What is that?
I really don't know. They have not... It's been there all the time we've been here, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'm not denying that. I think it might be a former member of staff. In a cupboard. Not a suicide. I'm not suggesting a suicide. I'm suggesting trapped in a cupboard.
Or a reluctance to leave.
Or maybe over a weekend, thumping at the door, and then just the whole thing just fell away, died, and is now just a seething sea of cockroaches.
And every now and then someone opens the door and thinks, well, I can either pretend I haven't seen this, or I have to tidy it up.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I think there might be more involved than a mere tidying up if one found a decaying body in a cupboard at Absolute Radio. I wonder,
Emails as well to
would it
send.
met the bulletin?
Oh.
News self-generated.
You notice. You're always aware of changes around
Anyway,
here. Frank, you walked past a corridor and you went, that's new, about some cupboard.
It was a cupboard of camcorders at Absolute Radio. I mean, are we audio or are we visual? Isn't that a song by The Killers?
Yeah.
Are we audio? Anyway, look, this won't put Rob Bonnet on TV sport coverage, will it?
No.
Oh, no, this won't put the bonnet on the baby. I was getting that.
Oh.
Yeah. I know, I was grasping after the cliché.
And we've got a grey walls, red desk combo in the studio, just to set the scene one tiny little bit more.
Grey and red, I read, is interesting use of the word red. There are two different types of spelling of the word red in one sentence. That it induces calmness, grey and red, as a combination.
That's good.
Yeah. So that's nice. So, as I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my girlfriend's sister is staying with us at the moment. And the thing that it's an unusual thing, but I've noticed that something that she does. She's called Rachel. Something that she does is when she's going out, she gets changed, and then she comes into the lounge and says, "What do you think of this outfit?" And sometimes she'll come in and then go away and come in a different outfit.
And so what do you think of that?
And we get to, and it's brought out, I must say, a deep, deep streak of gayness in me. I would say I have become some sort of West Midlands Gok Wan figure in the house. And the other day, I actually heard myself say to her, "Well, I think that one is more weekday."
Oh, Frank, do you know that's brought a tear to my eye? That's such a proud moment for
Your
me.
work is done, Emily.
Yeah, I think you have. You finally
What a piece of
converted
work
me.
I am.
I've become a fashionista.
Oh, Frank.
That's what. But then I read this week that the Royals are going to be in a similar situation. Is that when Catherine Middleton and
Do
William,
we have to start calling her Catherine, pretending she's posh now, just because she's getting married to a royal? Because her name's Kate.
I went
Katharina.
to a service at Westminster Abbey recently, and the vicar, it's the Church of England. It doesn't count on the chart, but I just went as I was a faith tourist. And he said, and I think we should pray for Prince William and Catherine Middleton. And ever since then, I'm kind of thinking of Catherine as a Catherine. Anyway, they don't know where to live. They don't want to live at St James's Palace, Buckingham Palace. They can't make their minds up. You know how it is. And so they're going to stay at Clarence House with
Hazza.
With Harry.
Naughty Harry.
Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit a set with
Very
princes,
similar.
a bit like our setup at home. Obviously, a servant doesn't come round in the morning with a selection of jeans and hooped rugby shirts for us to choose from. But there are similar dynamics. I think living with two siblings has got its It's problemos.
Well, a friend said she gets on brilliantly with Harry, so it won't be too much of a hardship shacking up with him for a while.
Oh, hold it.
Well, I didn't like shacking.
No, I don't.
No,
is it going to be
shacking suggests
3 posh people in the same house? You know what they're like. It'll be a menage a yar, as I believe they call them in the. Yeah, that would be great. Wouldn't that be the best scandal story of all time if that happened?
Although, probably wouldn't even be a scandal with the royals. That probably just happens and no one even notices.
Well, that's cynical, a dark and cynical view of it.
It will be a good script, like when you say about you guys and Rachel just testing her outfits. It will be a good screening process for Harry, though, for the dressing up.
Yeah, for
wrong uniform, Harry.
Yeah, for the brown shirt.
Go back in and change.
Yeah, I think that's good. One of the problems, I think, is the sibling rivalry. If you can imagine, if I was Kate, just have a bit of a laugh, I'd get a small ginger wig, just a tiny ginger wig, and when they have the hard-boiled eggs in the morning, I'd use that to signify Harry's egg, because then William's going to be thinking, well, is it because there's a ginger wig that signifies, so there's no need to identify mine, or is this a reference on my continuing baldness? And it's just gonna give him that bit of edge, which I think in a new groom can be beneficial to a bride. Just, keep them on the toes. Of course, as we know, there can be no true love without the fear of losing.
That's true, Frank. So is that your advice then? Get a small wig for a boiled egg? Yeah?
Well, it's worked for me.
Okay, that's awesome advice.
Well, when you both just wear jeans and rugby shirts, there's no point in coming in and saying, so what do you think about this outfit? Shall I go blue hoops or red hoops today, Get out of it. League or union? What are you thinking? Oh, well, I've got to go to a cake factory in Wigan. You better go league.
So there's all different sorts of pairing off that could happen. I mean, I know we've alluded to rudeness, which I think won't really happen. But, there's going to be the thing of William and Harry just carrying on like they're brothers as usual and Kate feeling a bit left out.
Yeah, like Priscilla did when she went into the Elvis household and he had all his mates.
And it was just all the boys together.
Oh, he had so many of them there, sitting around with their guns and their wide lapels.
Exactly.
Who wouldn't feel intimidated?
You painted a wonderful picture. You get to Grace, so there's a room with like 10 tellies in it, and then downstairs there's a shooting range, and you think, yes, men lived here. But I don't imagine they're... I imagine they're sort of metrosexual, aren't they?
Do you think so?
Do you think?
What does that mean with cars?
Yeah, just they use the tube.
But Frank,
in women's clothes.
Quite seriously, Frank, do you ever feel, because Kath and Rachel are really close, they've got a very strong bond, and do you ever feel a little bit left out? Because...
I don't mind that.
Oh, don't you?
We have a current rule that if they start arguing, they have to move into the back room so I don't have to listen to it.
You've got an argument room?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I don't want it. I don't want it in my life.
Is there weapons in there? Is there a range of weapons?
That seems quite a good system, though.
It's a kickboxing arena of sorts.
It's like a little sin bin. It's a good system.
I've also found that that stroll up the hall can take the sting out of the initial rage.
Do you actually say go in there?
Like when you...
No, that is an absolute rule in our
house.
Once they start, I go, and then they go into the... that thing with that that works with a dog. The dog starts going towards the food. And the dog knows immediately. It works like that.
And they cool down on the way, so it's a bit like when you walk in a room and forgot why you went in there.
They cool down a little, but, they are too... Kath can be a melodramatic woman. Kath used to work next to a bloke at Channel 4 who used to keep a list of the various ailments that she'd cited, that she'd got. And I remember he told me that his favourite one was headache caused by stripy dress. So you're talking about, a pretty hot temperament there. So, yeah, they do. They fight fire. But there's love involved. I don't want to get too involved. Just do it in the other room. And I can hear... all that from him.
It's like having a Mexican soap on. You can't quite understand it, but there's high emotion.
Exactly. And then there's the sombreros they both wear. That's never been fully explained. Have we had any contact from the outside world?
We've had a lovely pedestrian racing email.
Thank God for that. We haven't had one for her.
This is an international one. I'm quite excited about this as a glimpse into another country.
Right.
Dear Frank, Emily...
This is what happens when your parents go to Disneyland and leave you at home. These little moments like this become a window on the world.
Any mention of the United States just makes me feel of the gap I felt in childhood.
Oh, God.
My husband and I... No, this is the email starting.
Does it?
My husband has decided that I cheat at pedestrian racing. While recapping one of my day's sidewalk successes at dinner, so it's sidewalk, that's what they say in America.
So I like a sidewalk success. So it's sidewalk racing in America, of course.
No. They have that in... I think they have that in Disneyland as well. Sorry, carry on.
Do they? You know, I've never even been to America, the United States.
Have you not?
No.
I like the way it's America brackets the United States, in case there was some confusion.
I think we can tell from the fact that you referred to it in that way that perhaps you haven't been there.
You might think I mean the continent.
Yeah.
While recapping one of my day's sidewalk successes at dinner, he interrupted to ask, "Were you knitting while walking?" I sighed in frustration. "You know I was." Did an accent there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she knits while...
You mean literally knitting with? It's not some personal reference.
Read on, reader.
I live in a big city and I especially like knitting while walking in the evening, as it makes me feel as if I'm armed. I stride confidently down the street, secure in the knowledge that should it come to it, I could defend myself with the tools I used to make soft toys. Well then, you cheat, my husband decreed. My husband believes that racing while being threatening... he says it's similar to having, like, the spiky wheels in Ben-Hur having the knitting needles.
Oh, like Boudica.
Yeah, thinks it gives me an unfair advantage. Next day, I raced without knitting, while I was neck and neck with an older fella who was strumming a guitar while walking.
What? Where is this from? Woodstock?
She is from Jessica in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah. What a world.
Yeah. I left a major organ there once. I can't remember which one it was. Well, I think the knitting, is it dangerous? I suppose as long as you don't share a needle.
Oh, yeah.
So do we think that's cheating?
I mean, I suppose you have to get into a rhythm with the knitting that matches up to the speed of the walk. So I imagine that the knitting increases. I can see, it's almost like rowing, isn't it? It's almost like rowing yourself along.
Yes.
I like the idea that one might have to overtake some sort of travelling troubadour.
Yeah, I like that.
What my advice on that? What's this lady's name?
It is Jessica.
My advice on that, Jessica, would be don't try and take him on the machine head side.
No, that's right.
No. You could lose a tooth.
Go on the right. If he's right-handed, go round the right.
Yeah, exactly. Go to the strap bot, I think it's called, that thing on the... I think that's what...
Strap bot? Is that a club in San Francisco?
No, that's in Birmingham.
I think it's the title of William Roach's autobiography. Oh. Yeah.
He's not called William Roach. You know very well what he's called.
It's Willero Rocher. I think she's all right. I mean, I don't normally race with props, but I don't think there's an unfair advantage. And... if they're being kept at a distance, that's just like having lanes in some sort of Olympic event. So I'm all right with it. The only thing I could say would be a disadvantage, if you heard her coming from behind in a pedestrian, you sensed there was a race on.
Yeah. Yes.
You heard the clicking, you might confuse it with an artificial limb and think, better let them pass.
Oh, yeah.
Bizarre spider creature.
Oh, God, imagine
the
that.
Clicking.
Or someone speaking Xhosa, maybe, some African person. Do you know that language when they go...
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant.
In the paper this week, they said that
lot of sputum though coming out. You have to speak to them with a screen. They carry small face screens like a windshield. If you can imagine a see-through table tennis bat.
Yeah.
The Xhosa, they carry those just to, and then they'll just wipe them on just under the arm get the spit off. Little insight there into my South African trip this last summer.
Lovely little bit of anthropology there.
Yeah.
Speaking of anthropology, they reckon... I don't know if this is anthropology, but they reckon that...
we'll tell you.
Go for it.
Men and women are becoming more alike, physically.
Oh.
Not in a nowadays you can't tell them apart sort of way. Like
not in a moobs way, surely.
Yeah. Gareth's just heard of unisex. Is that? Yeah. He saw a unisex hair salon and thought, aye. He's put 2 and 2 together and got 5.
No, I mean, like, since, like, the 1600s, they've compared the skulls, and women's skulls used to be a lot smaller, and then over time, they're much more similar in shape.
Oh.
So it's now much...
So they've evolved. They're evolving it.
Yeah.
So we're getting more like men.
Hold it, let me get this right. Women are evolving into men. It's slightly dangerous. It's an interesting...
Very careful.
Their skulls are growing for the brains to grow into. No, I think what it is, they say it's more to do with nutrition, so women are getting better food.
But it is a sort of evolution,
I guess so.
suppose. Yeah. It does confirm
We're
something,
filling out.
something I've long suspected, and that is that Claire Balding is from the future.
Frank.
Yeah. No, I think she is actually from the future. It's not a Buzz Lightyear reference. I think she might have. You probably heard the story about when she used to train racehorses. Just by concentrating, she killed one. Just by concentrating, going, and there was a strange sort of sound and flash of light. It was dead.
You know the biblical story about when Samson kills a lot of people with a donkey's jawbone?
No.
Do you not?
No. I know a lot of Jackie Collins, but I don't know that.
I always think of Claire Balding when I think of that story.
Yeah.
Guys,
I like that.
can you
What?
both stop it?
What?
Why?
Don't say why like that.
Are we being mean?
Yes.
I
stop
like
it.
Claire Balding. It's just
I
that
do like
she
her.
has
She
got
does.
quite a big, her skull looks like it's evolved, that's all.
Yeah, well, let's look at both of your skulls while we're at it, shall we?
Okay.
Let's open them up.
Have you got any? I know Emily has mentioned one of these, so I'm not speaking out of turn, I don't think. But have we got any opposite sex
what, like a
looking
male
like
Do we
you?
have turns? I didn't realise.
I have got a few.
Are we supposed to speak in turn? Is it like the delicatessen thing in Waitrose? Should we have got a small ticket on the way in?
Take
Cashier number 4, please.
No, it's the listeners who have numbers.
I've got a few male Lookalikes. Elvis in his How Great Thou Art years, sometimes.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
facially,
something
not
else to see.
body-wise.
I knew you were connected to royalty.
Exactly. Nigel Clough, I was compared to Frank. Nigel Clough, yeah.
I don't know that one.
I can't quite.
And Burt Reynolds as well, some have said.
That's the moustache. Isn't it? That's the moustache thing. I've had when I was a child, I think I've mentioned this before. A woman came up to, well, in fact, 2 different women came up to my mum and said, "Doesn't he look like Hayley Mills in Tiger Bay?" Now that, I must say, that analogy has dried up.
Yeah.
No one said that to me for a long time. But I did, I don't know if it was on this show, but I got a few messages from the outside world saying I look like the former boss of MI5, Stella Rimington. And I Google imaged Stella Rimington, and I could see it.
Do you?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Stella Rimington, I think, is a rugby drinking game
Yeah, I've
as
heard
well.
that.
What about you, Gav?
My mum, I think out of my parents, I look both like my mum, most like my mum,
Well, yes, that
which
would make
isn't a
sense.
celebrity lookalike. But everyone always says my mum looks like Meg Ryan. So I look like Meg Ryan.
Well, you look like your mum, who looks like Red. You're twice removed from the truth. Yeah.
Your mum says she looks like Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan's very beautiful.
Frank.
No, but I mean, she's regarded as one of the most beautiful women on the...
No, but I'm just saying, that's
You haven't got it mixed up with Meg Mortimer from Crossroads.
I love the idea of your mum coming to him. Hello, yes, lovely to meet you. I'm Mrs. Richards. I look just like Meg Ryan. Spitting image. She said it like that.
My mum, funnily enough, met Meg Mortimer. Noel Gordon was her
I was going to say, I
name.
can't imagine your mum meeting Meg Ryan.
You know, when I say met her, Noel Gordon was opening
That's a contact you had.
She was
I knew you
opening
had
a
one.
supermarket in Smethwick. Is that a contact?
Dear
She gave her
Mrs.
a
Mortimer, I
sign-
don't know if you remember me.
She had a signed
my
black
son-
and white photo, which my mum put in the mirror. over the
Nolly
fireplace.
Gordon?
Yeah, when we got it. And I bet you that signed photo was in the mirror for 8 years.
So you do know a journalist? Oh, you mean a mirror? Oh, you mean an actual mirror? Okay.
It wasn't actually in the... Oh, I can't... What? Sorry? Sorry, that's producer coming through on my earpiece. Have you seen my earpiece? I'm loving it. I think Garrett's got a hint of a sort of Sissy Spacek about it.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Very beautiful woman.
I think it's just the words Sissy that's influencing me on this one.
My surname could be Spacek.
It could be Spacehead.
Like Spacehead.
It could be, yeah. I think it's a sissy Spacehead. That's what I'm trying to say. I've dressed it up as some celebrity name, but I thought we all know what's in there. I used to be big friends with Alison Moyet.
Oh, stop name dropping.
Yeah, and I used to go around.
What went wrong?
Well, it's a complicated story. I dated a mutual friend, and when that ended, it was awkward.
She made her choices.
Well, it was awkward, you know.
She was all cried out. She'd had enough of listening to your relationship woes.
So we went. We used to go around her house, and she would. She had kids, and they used to have a big pile of cuddly toys. And the idea was you had to pick a cuddly toy, and then you had to make the same facial expression as it. And you hold it at the side of your face to do it. It was a brilliant game. She was great at it. She could go from
practice.
She could go from a teddy bear to an action figure and get the face absolutely spot on. It's brilliant.
Wow.
I'd recommend they try that at home.
That would have been good in her stage show. She should have taken that on tour.
But you can't combine that with a mixture of torch songs.
No.
It would have been a serious mood change.
I've been losing a lot of stuff recently. I think I think
it's good you've combed it over and you'd never notice.
Don't draw attention to the hair.
I think he's growing it out for the royal wedding as a tribute.
Look at my. Anyway, yes. No, I don't know if I'm run down or something, but my brain has stopped. You know when you check you've got everything with you, and I've just stopped doing that. I've left my glasses in the toilet of KFC in Crouch End.
Oh.
Last week I did that.
Hold it. What? Why?
Why were you in the toilet?
Why would you be putting...
Well, I said why were you in the toilet?
How good is the graffiti in the KFC toilet that you have to take your glasses in with you?
I had a gig in Crouch End, and before the gig I changed into my contact lenses.
Oh, I see.
So I do have some contacts. But
tremendous. I must get an enormous bell I can ring at times like that. Maybe a very fat Oriental man who can swing a gong.
Yes, no, so I changed into the contact lenses before the gig. I left my glasses at another gig this week. I drove.
Did you get them back from the KFC?
Yes, they kept them for me.
Oh, fair enough.
It's nice. People, I was crouching.
I was there last week when he rang up and he was so excited. It was like the J.R. Hartley moment. He went, "Oh, you do."
God, when you said you were there, I thought you meant a KFC. I could not imagine that you. What a terrible juxtaposition of cultures.
I left my glasses in the dressing room in Barnstable. And drove 40 minutes.
That story.
Drove 40 minutes down the road.
Oh, well, that's a nightmare. Can't you get a lanyard?
Yeah, I should get one of those. But if I wear my contacts and then have my glasses around my neck, I look
have
like
your contacts on a separate lanyard.
Yeah, just have a series of lanyards.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah,
if
10 lanyards.
If you had them pierced in the corner, not that a contact lens has a corner, I think by nature. But if you had them pierced, like women do with their nails sometimes, and had a tiny, like a piece of fishing twine, you could have the glasses and them hanging around your neck. That'd be wonderful.
Dear.
Yesterday, on the way back from Glasgow, on the plane, I was trying to talk to Emma, the producer, on my phone as I was getting on the plane, and I had a bottle of Diet Coke that I'd just opened and I hadn't drunk any of it yet, and I thought I'd put the lid back on and put it in my bag, and it was slightly open. So as I was going through the doors of the plane, I thought, oh, I'll have some Diet Coke. I got the bottle out and it was completely empty. And had all gone into the bottom of my bag.
Oh, that's...
As I was getting on...
This isn't losing things, this is just bad things that's happened to you.
Yeah, this is just bad things happening to me, yeah.
This is just crass stupidity. That's how you should have begun this section.
And it wasn't until I noticed that the
Coke... If you'd have started, I'm a blithering idiot.
Okay.
That's horrible.
I am a blithering idiot. Here are some examples.
But can I just say, you're not allowed to take liquids on planes anyway, unless you're travelling with...
Yes, but what you do is you put them in that bin. You don't empty them into your bag. That's not the way forward.
But you know my brown leather bag?
Substandard smuggling tips, number 17. Liquid on the plane.
Oh, yeah. I was lapping it all the way home. No, you know...
Was anything ruined?
The brown leather... Yeah, things were ruined. You know my brown leather bag? It was in there, and it wasn't until I was just about to get on the plane that a little bit came out, but it was all in the bottom of the bag, like one of those leather drinking pouches from a Western.
Fabulous.
It was all just in there.
It could be, if only you'd had some sort of some amigo with you, could pass that to as they died on the plane. That would have been lovely.
No, it was
and then
you
know when they empty it, they always just throw the water container off it, so that's the end of that. That's our last chance gone.
Oh, I love your Western pouch.
Yeah,
no, it was a disaster.
The Eastern pouch, I find a little high slung. I never lose anything. I touch wood. No, I'm so careful. When I'm always I'm touching the wallet. I'm touching the keys. I'm touching the.
Don't you lose
telephone.
clothes? I've lost a lot of clothes recently.
Yeah, well, I don't have those kind of nights out. No, I don't lose.
Snakeskin belt I left in Marrakesh. Faux snakeskin before people start texting in.
Yeah. Faux Marrakesh or the real one. Have you ever been to Faux Marrakesh? I think that
me and my brothers used to go there all the time for our games.
Yeah, exactly.
Alexander McQueen
we also went
scarf.
to Faux Disney World. Thanks for bringing that up.
That's gone.
Alexander McQueen scarf.
Bought for me by Jimmy Carr. Gone.
Oh, was that like a knitted scarf that had the words Alexander McQueen that you held up at his
no
at his fashion
beautiful
shows?
Scarf that gone.
Yeah, it was nice.
Oh,
yeah. Left on a train.
I never lose. The only thing I ever lose, and I don't think you can even call this losing, is if I'm writing, I'll be thinking, hold on, wait. If I'm sitting down and I'm writing, I'll be thinking, where's that biro? Where's the biro gone? And what I do is I rest it on me. When I use for a biro, I use.
When you say.
I use the folds in my clothing as impromptu shelving.
Yeah.
So I'll just rest it on a fold, and then I think, where I can't find it, and I have to stand up and let it fall on the floor. That's the only way I can find that pen again. I have to sort of unfold, if you know what I'm saying.
Gareth's experimenting.
Yeah, you can do it.
I tell you what, I do
That's
get a
the
kick
fold
out
in your
of.
flesh. That's not the fold.
No,
in clothing.
don't put them in a flesh fold. I'm wondering if this is where the writer of Danger Mouse got the character name Penfold from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the other thing is, you know, we all lose our phone on occasion, and you do that thing like I'll get my girlfriend to call my phone. And whenever that happens, I've said to you before, there are little things in life I get very excited about. The fact that my ears have some sort of directional function, that I can tell what room or whatever it's in as soon as it rings.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. I feel like I'm on detective work. Or maybe I'm operating the scanner on a submarine. I just think, no, I can hear where that's coming from. It happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and I said to myself, gotcha. Like it was deliberately eluding me. But I get a thrill out of that. I'm just scratching. Talk amongst yourself.
Don't scratch. Frank, have you...
I love it when you say Frank like that.
Have you got your shoes off today?
Do you know what? They're on, but they're unlaced because I went to the toilet recently. I always kick them off in the studio.
I know you do, and this is something I want to discuss with you.
But I don't... because I always take them off on trains as well. I take shoes off anywhere.
You do all the
cinema,
time.
everywhere.
Well, you're bang on trend because this is happening in Downing Street, isn't it, Gar?
Yes.
Yeah, but my thing is my girlfriend gives me stick about it because I was on a train with her once and I went to the toilet without my shoes on. And when I came back, she said, what you've done now, you've absorbed urine into your feet and that's going to be in our bed.
Oh.
Yes, we share a bed. Yeah.
Oh.
But I thought, what
Each
do you mean
to his own.
absorbed? What do you think I've got going? Some sort of squeegee soles?
Strange cotton pad feet.
Does she think that was my nickname at school? Oh, squeegee soles. Oh, get Frank Skinner to have a walk round the cricket pitch. It'll be ready for play in a jiffy. Is that what people said? No. And she goes on, she's obsessed with urine. One of my things I love is sitting under a tree with my back to the bark. That's one of the most... That brings me peace and joy. And there's this whole dog urine thing that she always goes on about, which means that she won't allow me to do it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, that put me off drinking out of the bottle, because apparently people say that there's dog urine on the necks of bottles of beer.
What, how?
Because they wee on crates when they're standing outside for long periods of time.
Is that right?
But if we live life like that, anything could have been weed on by a dog.
Well, I'm sure,
Do you know what I mean?
When I was
they
drinking
have dogs
a
in the
lot.
Absolute Studios. Probably all these microphones are covered in dog urine.
But in my heavy drinking days, I think there was urine on beer bottles, because I think dogs probably weed on my lips as I lay.
When you were staying at the Hotel Central Reservation, as I call it.
I'm sure.
And your lips have absorbed that urine, and now, whenever your girlfriend kisses you,
horrible topic.
Too much talk about. I wish we hadn't done this at all. The urine element of it.
I was trying to talk about Downing Street and shoes off.
I think it was Fabio Capello. It was Fabio Capello who said, "It is possible to do some things better, but it is the past." And I think that's how I'm summing up the whole human urine section. Anyway, yeah, so David Cameron kicks his shoes off, I think.
He kicks his shoes off. Well, there have been a couple of people. Who are the other ones?
Not David Cameron. Steve Hilton, Director of Strategy.
Oh.
He's one of these trendy people who have been to America.
Oh, he's been to America?
The
United States, brackets.
No, he didn't even say there. He just said United States.
What about those people who say the States? I hate that. I hate those people. I could easily smack them in the throat.
The States.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I've just been over in the States. Oh, have you?
Just going over to NY?
He is into all sorts of blue sky thinking and all that.
I was going to say. Yeah.
And for meetings, he takes his shoes off.
That's all right, isn't it?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Really?
I don't like... Now, it's funny, Frank, I don't mind you in socks, and it's like that familiar thing.
You're in socks, or
well, in the same way that I wouldn't eat eggs when I was younger, but if my mum cooked them, I'd eat them.
Would you eat them out of my socks?
No!
Okay.
But I don't mind your socks, because they're familiar, and I know you, and I know you're very clean. Honestly, it's true. But I don't like strange men's socks.
I know what you mean.
It's really weird. Like, if you take your socks off, I think, I feel quite affectionate towards the socks. If I, for example, am on a train and a man kicks his shoes, I feel like, I go, oh! It makes me feel ill.
I know what you mean. I saw Bruce Forsyth fold his legs once, and his sock went... I mean, it went virtually at the knee. Such
horrible.
A high sock.
The worst one I've seen, I was on a
tease.
plane once with an ex-boyfriend, and Richard Keys was on the seat. Yeah, he was about 2 seats along. And he took the shoes off. He got the little sock. It was like a little dog in socks. It was horrible. Little black sock. Like a dog with socks on, like little feet. It made me feel ill.
Did you darn it?
But I just thought, I don't want to see those.
No, I don't want to see that. That's not even a foot, as you say. That's some sort of
I'm still laughing at darn it.
That's a hoof.
Yeah. But I just find it a bit offensive,
That has
guys.
reminded me, I've also lost my keys recently.
Oh, okay.
All my keys.
So are you the chairman of Sky Sports? I funnily enough, at home, I tend not to go a stocking foot.
Don't you?
For a start, we have an uncarpeted stair, and I will not risk a stocking foot on an uncarpeted stair. I saw a man slide down once doing that. Never again. But what I do is I wear a very, very loosely laced trainer. I mean, so loosely laced, and I've done this, I can actually jump out of them.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is quite a thing to see.
Yeah.
I always imagine that you know when you see youths with those trousers that are hanging right down on all their boxer shorts, I always imagine that with a bit of focus they could jump straight out of them. I'd love to see that done. I might start going up behind hooded youths with a brown paper bag, bursting it, and see if I can get them to jump out their jeans.
What's tinkling? Something's tinkling. Are you tinkling, Emily?
Oh, yeah, I've got a bracelet with a bell on it, sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was a leper.
What do you think?
Terrifying.
Oh. A very, very subtle leper. Yeah, lose the handbell. Can you just get me a little thing on a chain? Unclean. I'm not going to say unclean anymore. Let's just go slightly blemished. Shop soiled. Shall we go shop soiled? Shop soiled. Shop soiled.
I don't like it.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute.